Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we're going to do a Star Collecting Box Army video, and today we're going to be looking at the Seraphon and the Star Collecting Seraphon box set. Seraphon do have a couple of different box sets, and we'll look at the other one and even a video combining the two in the future. However, at the moment we're going to look at the Star Collecting Seraphon. What we aim to do in this video is we aim to make an army entirely out of using the contents of just Star Collecting boxes. Star Collecting boxes are a great way to get bundle deals of models on the cheap from Games Workshop. You can even get bigger discounts if you go to your friendly local game store or some online retailers that definitely do a discount. My friendly local game store, Dragon's Lair Salisbury, does their own discount of 10%, so this sort of adds up and saves you a lot, especially when getting into the game. These can be great ways to get you into the game, get that 2,000 point army nice and quick on the table. And that's what we're aiming to do in this video. This will never be the most competitive army by any means. What it will do is give you a good solid foundation to start with and then expand upon and build out later. It'll give you a ton of options because generally a lot of the kits inside Star Collecting boxes are dual kits, and we'll look at them in a second. But for now, let's talk about what we're going to get out of this Seraphon army. We'll then look at what we get inside the box and how we can use it, and then we'll do a little sample army list for you at the end of the video. And so, first of all, we're going to be playing in a Coalesce Seraphon army. That's what we're going to use this box set to make. The contents of it definitely lean towards doing this. We don't get a Slann in this box set, so we're definitely going to be wanting to do Coalesce more than Starborn. Because Starborn does hinge on us having a Slann, and we're not going to have that for this. So we do get some solid defensive abilities with this. So we get the ability of Scaly Skin, which actually negates 1 point of damage to all of us from all attacks. So damage 2 attacks become damage 1 against all of your units. This is just fantastic. It really does mean your opponent has to put so much more damage into you than they normally would have to. You've also got the ability that all your jaws get some extra bonuses as well, and this includes mounts and the monsters that ride them themselves, the actual Saurus. So there's some ways to get some good damage in here. And also the particular sub-faction we're going to look at, which is called Coatus Claw, gives us some good bonuses on the charge as well. And there are weapons in the army, like their spears and lances on the knights and the warriors on the large amounts of the Carnosaurs. They get bonuses when they charge, so that's definitely another thing to look out for with the armies. You're going to get a lot of bonuses for charging. You've also got, last thing is some really high damage monsters. The monsters in this army can pack out an unbelievable amount of damage for their size, and there's a great way to get a ton of different buffs on the units to really make them go ham on your opponent. And so, now that we've talked a little bit about what we're going to get with this particular army, let's go have a look at exactly what we're going to get inside the box set and how we can use it all to create our army. And so, let's look at the kits first. First of all, we get the Carnosaur kit. So this can be built as either a Saurus Old Blood on Carnosaur, or a Scar Veteran on Carnosaur, or a Skink Oracle on Troglodon. That is the main monster you're going to get. The Troglodon is the one you see on the right there, the white-grey scaly creature, and the other one, the red one, is the Saurus Old Blood on Carnosaur. The Scar Veteran goes on the same mount that you see pictured there. Now, if you build the Skink Oracle on Troglodon, you will get a model specifically made to be the Saurus Old Blood on foot, which is really cool. However, you can definitely do a little bit of converting and get that Skink Oracle on foot and use him as a Skink Star Priest or Skink Priest if you want. A little bit of converting from here and there, and it easily makes a cool stand-in model for those units. Next up, we get Saurus Knights and Saurus Warriors. Now, we get some really odd unit sizes in here, mainly because the sprues are relatively old, so they're in all sort of packaging styles of 4 models rather than 5, as we now sort of see. However, this is not a bad thing, because what you can do with these spare models is you make a bunch of the different Saurus characters out of the models in these kits, combined with some of the parts you're going to get spare from your Saurus Old Blood on Carnosaur kit as well. You can make a ton of the different Saurus and even Skink characters you get access to throughout the Battle Tome. But what do all these units do? Well, first of all, the Saurus Old Blood, he is our big Lord level hitter. He's the biggest hitter we get in the army. He's got a cool little ranged attack. He's got his nice big spear there for damage. He's the oldest, he's the meanest, he is the baddest of them all. The Saurus Scar Veteran on Carnosaur, however, is a little bit cheaper of a hero. And sort of like the next step down from him. He's got his own cool things that he can do as well, but really it's like the Old Blood and the Scar Veteran, the next level under. They're your two sort of combat fighty monsters on giant raptor T-Rex things. We then get the Skink Oracle and Troglodon. He's actually a wizard, and he gets +1 to cast innately, which is really cool. So a pretty decent wizard at that. You can also do some cool abilities. The Troglodon has some really nice abilities where it gets bonuses to charge and bonuses to do that. And it's also got a cool little shooting attack as well with its venomous spit. And then on foot, the Saurus Oddblood, he's much the same as the one you see atop the Carnosaur there. He's got his own sort of little things he can do, and obviously he lacks the giant dinosaur underneath him. And you've then got the Skink Oracle on foot, which you turn into either Skink Priest or Skink Star Priest. Skink Star Priest, for me, has an amazing ability where you can give one of your units the ability to dish out some mortal wounds, so a really, really strong unit there. Noting that the Skink Star Priest is also a wizard on foot, so gets access to the cool spell lore we get access to due to being Seraphon. Saurus Knights are another cool unit, and they go really well into Coatls Claw. They get bonuses when they charge with their lances, which is really cool. So this is just going to give them that extra little bit of punch when they do charge. Cavalry on these size bases, for me, they always do work well in units of 5. Saurus Warriors are the last unit we get inside the box, and we actually get 12, but we only run them in units of 10, or lots of 10. And with this, we're going to probably, if we run them in units of 20, run them with spears. Generally, the rule is if you're going to run units of 10 of Saurus Warriors, have the clubs on them. But anything over that, 20, 30, you're really going to want to have the spears, mostly because they're going to get all their attacks in that way. And with the amount of buffs you can get onto these units through various means, I don't think the spears' negatives against them really does come into it when you can get all the buffs off them that you can. Now, I did say you could easily convert a ton of different characters. It could be things from the Saurus Sunblood to an Astrolith Bearer and a bunch of other different characters to really just give you a bunch of different utility pieces throughout your army. That's what's really cool about this box. You've got a ton of bits to convert up to create your own models and to really go ham and make all those different characters that you don't get in the box set. There's a lot more in this box set than would first appear if you've just got that little bit of creativity within you. And so here we have our little sample army list. So we're going to be playing in Seraphon, and we're going to be playing in the sub-faction known as Coatls Claw. So Coatls Claw, what exactly does this give us? Well, first of all, Coatls Claw, the main thing it's going to give us is Savagery Incarnate. So we add one to the hit rolls made by friendly Coatls Claw Saurus units that made a charge move in the same turn. This is what I mean with the spears. We're going to be able to charge with those spears and get some of the benefits from them, thanks to Coatls Claw's benefit. Generally, the spears here for the Saurus Warriors, the thing that they're going to do more than anything is we're going to get the difference between the two weapons. So we're either going to be with the Celestial Spear, we're not going to have any rend out like the Celestial Clubs, but we're going to get so many more attacks through. I feel it's worth it with this unit. You definitely could play around with this and see how you like running these units, but I think you're going to get a lot of work out of them with just the extra attacks. Though in the new edition, I guess there is a word for having the rend, but rend 1 becomes so innate nowadays with the ability to just negate it quite easily. I think just going for more attacks is generally the way to go and put weight of dice onto your opponent. What's also cool about this is taking the spears on those Saurus Warriors there is going to go really well with those Skink Star Priests and their ability to do their cool little prayer, not a prayer on their War Scroll that enables them to do some mortal wound damage. So the more attacks is actually going to come in handy with that. Now, Coatls Claw, back to that. We've got Saurus Oddblood on Carnosaur. He's going to be our general, and he's going to have the command trait Dominant Predator. Now, the command trait Dominant Predator, this is going to allow a general to get some extra command points into the army. This is going to be really great. Once again, along with the Skink Star Priest, going to be getting us a ton of extra command points. He's then going to have the artifact, which is the Eviscerating Blade, which is from Coatls Claw, and so he does 2 mortal wounds every time he rolls a 6 to hit with one of his weapons. Lastly, he's got Beakmaster, which is a cool trait. We can get Run and Charge and a few other cool abilities we can work around with. This is in the Seraphon Battle Tome update you'll find in one of the White Dwarfs. Then got a Saurus Scar Veteran on Carnosaur. He's got the Blade of Realities, which gives him some extra damage when fighting against enemy heroes and a little bit of extra rend. So he's going to be hunting down some enemy heroes. And then we've got Skink Oracle and Troglodon with Hand of Glory. Hand of Glory gives us rerolls of 1 to hit, which is really nice. And this is why we've probably got our best spell here on the Troglodon. That way it's going to get the +1 to cast. Then we've got Skink Star Priest with Ghost Mist, which I think is a fantastic utility spell to have up your arsenal. Although you could easily swap this out for a second Hand of Glory to have some utility there, or perhaps a different spell of your choosing. And then Tide of Serpents is nice for clearing out some hordes, which our army may struggle with a little bit. For Battle Line, we've got 4 units of 5 Saurus Knights and 2 units of 20 Saurus Warriors. I've talked about the spears on how they combine well with the Skink Star Priest. The more attacks just going in there is going to do really well, being able to put out those mortal wounds. And the Saurus Knights can work in tandem alongside our Carnosaur and just doing the damage in our opponent's half of the table. We've gone for 2 core battalions here with a Warlord and a Battle Regiment. The Warlord is containing a bunch of our heroes and one of our units, and the Battle Regiment takes all our other heroes and everything left over from the Warlord, lowering our drops down to 6, which is really, really nice. And then we've got an additional artifact coming out of that Warlord to give us the second artifact, Blade Realities, you saw there. 2 reinforced units, 2,000 points on the nose, 129 wounds and 6 drops. Not a terrible Seraphon list for being built out of entirely star collecting boxes. If you were going to build a Seraphon out of entirely star collecting boxes, how would you do it? What would you add to the army? Let us know in the comments below. Well, that's the end of the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also, drop us a comment in the video and let us know what you enjoyed about it as well. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our fine community here at Cinderful Gaming, you can do so by following the link in the description of the video to our Discord server. You can come chat with me and other members. Lastly, if you'd like to help support the channel in another way, you can do so either by joining Patreon or YouTube members linked in the video's description, or by getting some merch from Teespring, also linked in the video's description. We'd like to give a shout out to everyone who helps support the channel on Patreon and YouTube members. So a special shout out to our Patreons: Christian Weir, James Soren, Chaos Spawn, AJC, Kenny Lowell, Alderon Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Cure Dynamic, Agu, Anthony B, Dynat226, Anton Nielsen, JJ Austrian, and Average Wargamer. And a shout out to our YouTube members as well: Greenroots Gaming, Kenton Young, Steve T, The Real Zealot, Chris Wallace, Turai12, Vinny, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Revenar, and Wolfreak Nick. Lastly, a special thanks to Lady Witchfox Art, who does the amazing artwork you see on the channel. Everything here is done by her. She does an amazing job, so thank you very much. And lastly, a special shout out to Xmorphic, who does all the background work on the Discord server, keeps it running smoothly and makes it amazing, because I am terrible with computers. So thank you, Xmorphic, as well. That's it for today though, folks. Stay safe everyone, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.